live from the Steel Twins recording studio in beautiful Traverse City, Michigan, and from Casa del Freytown in Taylor, Michigan. The Outside Blitz presents your hosts, the Cannonball Alex Steele, the bootleg veteran, who better to be, and the man with the plan, the fabulous Scotty Freytown.
And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Outside Blitz. I am your host, the fabulous one, Scotty Freytown. Joining me to my left, the man with the plan, the one and only. Who better to be than the bootleg better? Boots, welcome back to the show.
Yeah, it's great to be here. Great to be here tonight. Mic check.
Yeah,
Mic check.
You're all wrapped up in the cords over here. I am so sorry.
Up in the cords. That's okay, because I love to record. And I like to say that it was foretold in ancient gold that I would have no fear. I heard him talk behind my back. I was standing right there. I was bothered at first. I turned it over to God. He told me, bet on yourself. You got to even the odds. These dudes stacking the deck. I keep an ace up my sleeve. Plus, she telling me things you wouldn't believe. Plus, I love when I attack her. I'm always going to get her. And you keep hitting me. And I got a bachelor. Let's go.
Oh, the bootleg better in the house. Oh, Lordy.
Or we could go with, you dropped your books and lost your lesson. It's time to school, y'all. It's 3 o'clock and we the schoolyard bullies of Duval.
Oh.
Rooting for tooting, the scoreboard gets rearranged. Touchdown to Thomas, touchdown to Strange. Don't run into this defense, dog. It might hurt you. The only fancy Jaguar you see is in commercials. We got a QB stalker, last name Walker, plus Travis Hunter. Hell, he might play punter. Let's go.
Oh, man. Travis Hunter gets a shout out here. And another nice big hype up time for the bootleg better. Well, we are live right here.
Go platinum anywhere in the world.
We're live right here on
Only in
Twitch.
Bootsville.
We're live on Twitch. We're live on X. We're live on Facebook. We are here live, large and in charge. Hey, welcome to the show, folks. The Outside Blitz in the house. I'm fired up. I hope everybody else is as fired up as I am. Training camp has opened up. We're 6 days away from football. I'm just very excited, even though it's just
football 365 around here.
Yeah, I know, but Panthers versus Cardinals, the Hall of Fame game around the corner. The preseason's going to open up. We're all getting excited about it. I've been all kinds of fired up about all the preseason stuff, getting ready to fire up and get going. And
yeah,
man, we're right here. We're on the doorstep.
Yeah,
on the doorstep. But
try not to sneak in.
Yeah. But
I got a skeleton key, though.
Unbelievable. But everybody joining us over here on Twitch, on Kick, on X, on Facebook, man, we're everywhere now. On YouTube. We're on YouTube these days. Eventually, we're going to get ourselves on the TikTok.
The TikTok.
There it is. The TikTok. We're going to get ourselves on there. But, folks, we are here. We're ready to rock and roll. Training camp is open. We got news around the league, and we got a ton of it. It came pouring in this week. The amount of news, my goodness gracious. We just did a quick run through of everything that's going on, and it was like, holy smokes, what in the heck?
Yeah, it poured in like the Great Roach Storm in Meridian, Mississippi in 1973. You've seen the roaches. They call them water bugs in the South. Did you know that?
Is that what they call roaches?
They call flying roaches water bugs. It's just a water bug.
That's terrifying.
Bro, the thing will cover your face. You ever seen them water bugs in Mississippi?
Terrifying.
Man, I'll tell you when it rains, because when it rains, the sewers and everything, they just pop up and they just, go everywhere.
Well, speaking of the South,
all over your plate.
Speaking of the South,
the wall.
Oh God, it's just
the spoon.
It's so not appetizing. Oh God,
no.
Speaking of the South, though, we've got some stuff going down in the South here. We've got the Atlanta Falcons with some stuff going on. They've got a little quarterback issue down there. Tua Tagovailoa.
You think?
Yeah, Tua Tagovailoa is allegedly dealing with a back issue. Head coach than later, but the Falcons, I don't know if this is just a knee-jerk reaction, but they go out and they sign quarterback Cooper Rush to a 1-year deal with all the injuries to Tua. And obviously you have Michael Penix dealing with the knee injury from last year. He's still recovering. But here we are. Cooper Rush is in the house, and Tua Tagovailoa dealing with more injuries. Here we are, the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah. This is like opening the door and finding a Ford Pinto in the back.
Boots.
Or some pinto beans.
Yeah, I've made something.
A bowl of pinto beans. You ever had pinto beans and rice? With little onions and some gravy? Oh, Lord, that's delicious. Anyway, here's the thing about this whole situation with these quarterbacks. You bring in Cooper Rush, what that tells me automatically is Michael Penix Jr. isn't ready to come back. What also bothers me about this is the fact that Michael Penix Jr., I've been on his team since day uno.
Yep.
Right? But here's the thing. He needed to have played better. The injury has been a concern. The injuries from college have been a concern so far in the league. It wasn't his last year at Washington because he played really well and he held up and everything. But since he's been in the league, he's had this issue.
I mean, right up until that national title game, he got banged up. I mean, in the midst of that national title game with that Michigan Blitz, he got smacked around a little bit on that one.
He did. But, he had played well up until then, and it was promising.
Yep.
It has not worked out so far. So maybe changing coaching, changing language, changing voices that you're hearing in the locker rooms and in the office. Maybe that'll do it. But the biggest thing is for him to get his knee under control and situated. Along now with Tua.
Yep.
We already know what we're dealing with. Right? With the injury history.
The gang signs.
You know what I mean? We already know what you have to deal with. And when I'm saying he putting the team on his back, they went out and got Tua to basically be the quarterback. I don't think Stefanski was sold on Penix Jr. being the quarterback.
Maybe not.
So, why else would you go out and get, Tua?
I'm not. And here's the thing. I'm not sold on either of the guys. I think I'm more sold. I'm more sold on Penix than I am Tua at this stage. Right.
Right.
My problem comes in where, and it was my big issue with Penix is, obviously Tua, we have the obvious injury issues, right? All the history of head injuries with him. Frankly, I thought he should have retired after all the head injuries. It's like, man, we're going to see this poor man, die on the field at some point. That's my fear here. But when it comes to Michael Penix, the knee injury was an issue. He had a history of ACL issues, if I'm not mistaken, dating back to his time in high school, if I'm not mistaken. Am I wrong there?
No, I know he was at Indiana.
Yeah.
When he had the first major one.
Yeah, and so like he's had a history of knee injuries, and then now we're dealing with another knee issue. The Atlanta Falcons, I don't think that they really did him any favors last year in certain situations. They really didn't get him a ton of weapons outside of Drake London. It was like Drake London and everybody else over there for a while.
Darnell Mooney was going to be that guy, right?
For a minute we did.
Yeah.
And really Darnell Mooney showed some flashes over there in Chicago. If you recall, he had a 1,000-yard season over there in Chicago for a minute.
Yeah, with Justin Fields.
Yeah, I mean,
quarterback.
Yeah, there was a minute there where Darnell Mooney was looking like he could be a high end too. He just didn't pan out there in Atlanta. There's some problems over there that Atlanta needs to address before either of these quarterbacks is going to be successful. I don't really think that either one of them is going to be in really good shape. And obviously Cooper Rush, he's kind of a middle of the road sort of backup.
Bandage, Band-Aid, he should be sponsored by Johnson & Johnson.
Yeah, that's basically it. I mean, it's one of those guys where it's kind of like, okay. I'm okay with it. I'm not mad at it, but
right. He's good. Yeah. But we already know what he is.
Yeah, he's a third. He'll be your third string guy, obviously. But I mean,
I would much rather have him as your backup, quarterback in waiting, as Mr. Hunt would say. I would rather have Cooper Rush than a lot of guys in the league.
Sure.
Right. But we know what he is.
Yeah, I agree with you. And then they've got an even, this is sort of a problem for Atlanta, given the fact that they signed him. Obviously, they plan on having him start, but they placed offensive tackle Jawan Taylor on the PUP list as well. So with an undisclosed injury. So Jawan Taylor starts out the offseason on the PUP.
Huge disappointment in Kansas City.
Yeah.
And it's starting to look that way in Atlanta.
It's looking really bad in Atlanta.
Man.
Really bad in Atlanta.
No wonder, spoiler alert.
Yeah.
No wonder Bijan might want to get a little bit extra money.
Yeah. I'm it's kind of an interesting little thing here, you know, in Atlanta. I don't understand the signing of Juwan Taylor. I don't understand like, this makes a lot of sense. Like, let's have Juwan, like,
yeah, the guy that couldn't protect Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, let's bring him over.
Yeah, the guy who started offsides and drew so many offside penalties and had all these problems. You know, like let's start him. Like why are you doing that? Why was that an option? This should have never been an option. And I don't understand why they pay, and they didn't pay him a boatload of money, but it's the point. Like, why was this your choice? This should have never been your choice. Alex, you were very critical of Juwan Taylor. I mean, all of us were, but Alex, you were probably one of his biggest critics. Juwan Taylor over here with Atlanta, this is obviously not an improvement at the right tackle position. And now you got him over here.
Yeah, it's the wrong tackle position.
Yeah, now you got him on the pup. It makes it 10 times worse. Where are you at on this?
I'm not a fan. Not at all. And I can't say I'm surprised at the situation that we found ourselves in.
Yeah.
So
I mean, if we
take a look at his stats, what we need to determine here is where things fell apart. And I think things fell apart pretty much the moment he took the field.
Yeah.
So if we take a look at his offensive grades, let me just pop this up on it. If we take a look at his offensive grades, I don't see a single week. I don't see a single week where he went anywhere above 69.2 against the Jaguars. He did not pop a 70 PFF grade all year last year.
Yeah, and a lot of the problem, let me just point out, a lot of the problem as it pertained to him was the fact that Juwan Taylor was dealing with a penalty problem. And a lot of his penalty problem was it was flat out, no bones about it. It was him lining up, way back, which causes false starts and illegal formations. That was his big problem. It always was his big problem. He
goes back to footwork.
Yeah, bad footwork. He was what he was trying to do, he was trying to almost cheat the system in a way because he knew
that kick step.
Yeah, he couldn't get off the line quick enough. And so, he always starts back a little bit further, and they changed the rules so you couldn't get away with that, and here we are. So now we got Juwan Taylor getting penalized a bunch for false starts and all this other stuff, and it's like, well, this is just a disaster now, isn't it? And
yeah,
that's why he got all those downgrades. I think, if I'm not mistaken, he was one of, if not the most penalized offensive tackle last year. It was insane the amount of penalties he drew last season. And I think he was the most. He might have been the most penalized offensive lineman last year, but it's. I don't understand the signing.
I'd be curious to know if Pro Football Focus recorded those statistics. But I mean, I think the grades chart speaks for itself.
Oh yeah.
Do you see any decent numbers anywhere there? Like he started with the Jaguars in 19 and he popped a 63.7 rating. And it was all downhill from there.
Yeah.
I don't see a single grade above 63.
No.
Funny thing was his best grade last year was against his former team, the Jacksonville Jaguars. But at the same time, it's like the Chiefs found a way. It's kind of like that. It's kind of like that offensive lineman for the world champion Seattle Seahawks, whose name escapes me at the moment. But as soon as you say his name, we'll both know what we're talking about. A good friend, Dave, hates this guy.
I will find him.
Charles Crawford, but he plays for the team now.
Yeah, he plays for the team now. He's a guard. He doesn't do anything. He's terrible. I will find him.
Yeah. So you can't be talking about Charles Crawford.
No, sir. That's. I bet you find it. But the point is this:
Anthony Bradford.
Yes, and Bradford. again, we were sitting in your house and watching him. Miss blocks. We saw him get beat at the line, and then Sam Darnold would eat another sack.
Yeah,
but just like Seattle found a way to win a world championship with one of the worst cards in football. Here's the Kansas City Chiefs that were able to find success with Jawan Taylor, who clearly is an albatross. And now that you got him starting with the Atlanta Falcons, and he's having injury problems. Oh man! I mean, I'm hearing the drain circle a little bit here.
Yeah, it's an absolute disaster. So we're going to see what happens. He's starting on the PUP list. You got Jawan Taylor over there. Elsewhere around that division, we have other things going on. Let's talk about the Buccaneers for a minute here. They've got Tristan Wirfs right now. He's considered day-to-day with a hamstring injury. They're all pro left tackle. He's one of the best left tackles in football, but right now he's day-to-day with a hamstring injury. So Baker Mayfield already, dealing with a lot as far as a contract situation, which, I mean, Baker Mayfield right now, he did show up to training camp. So that's a sort of a sigh of relief for the Bucs fans, but he's not satisfied currently with his current contract situation with the Bucs. He's currently seeking about $50 million per year, which the Bucs have allegedly not even come close to. So Baker Mayfield's unhappy, and now his left tackle is not on the field, Tristan Wirfs, because he's day-to-day with a hamstring injury. Are the Bucs just falling apart? Are they coming apart at the seams? Is it seams here, Boots? I mean,
I kind of see the cracks forming.
Yes.
We talk about Todd Bowles as the head coach and how we're in lockstep, and they're lacking high level coaching in high leverage situations.
Yes.
Right. So, and I'll be kind and say that. But when Tom Brady walked out the door of Tampa, things started to fall apart almost immediately.
Sure.
Right. The Bucs, that is, they were able to salvage some seasons and get to the playoffs, but you've seen the success kind of start to dwindle, ever since then, right? And this won't help. So there's some other stuff going on in Tampa, which I know you're going to talk about.
Yep.
But when your quarterback is unhappy and feels disrespected, he can either go out and have a bomb-ass ball-to-the-wall season like I know Baker Mayfield does all the time, and show you, oh, no, you're going to pay me, and watch this.
Yep, he's going to prove it.
But it's going to be hard to do that if Tristan Wirfs ain't going to be protecting them.
Exactly, and this is the problem. Tristan Wirfs, it's your blindside guy.
You're talking about a top 5 tackle.
Yeah.
Put him where you want in the order. Top 5 guy, and
in the league.
Yeah, you can't have that.
Yeah, that's problematic.
That sucks.
It's going to be.
Well, hopefully he'll be okay, but what you don't want is an issue at left tackle and your quarterback is unhappy.
Right, that's going to be a problem. Alex, what you got?
So I want to highlight a word that Boots highlighted earlier. Disrespected.
Yeah.
That is exactly, if you're on my stream right now, and if you're playing the home game watching, on my screen right now is a screen capture of the look on Baker Mayfield's face if a picture could talk. All right? Pictures are worth 1,000 words. That tells you all you need to know. He just looks like he's literally like at the gas station and trying to get his change back, and he just looks at the dude and goes, "Are you kidding me?"
Yeah,
and now if that wasn't bad enough. If we take a look at this screen capture I've scrolled down to right here. According to the NFL, these are the highest paid quarterbacks by average per year for the current contracts. These are current quarterbacks 13 through 18. So at 18, Malik Willis is 22.5. Aaron Rodgers, 22.5. Baker Mayfield, 33.5. Sam Darnold, 33.5. Daniel Jones, $44 million. Guess who tops that list at rank 13?
Yeah.
That's right, Deshaun Watson,
which is a disaster.
$46 million a year. If you know, the man's not even playing.
Yeah.
So you mean to tell me that a guy that got busted for doing creepy things to massage therapists and sat out most of the 2025 season is getting paid more money than Baker Mayfield? No wonder he feels disrespected.
Yeah, I'd feel disrespected too. I mean, and if you look at some of those names, I know you're a big Malik Willis guy, but if I was Baker Mayfield, I'd be wanting to get paid more than Malik Willis. Baker Mayfield deserves to get paid more than Malik Willis. Baker Mayfield deserves to be paid more than Aaron Rodgers.
Are you talking about me being the Malik Willis?
Yeah. I know you're a Malik Willis.
That's my guy.
I know you're a Malik, but Baker Mayfield deserves to be paid more than Daniel Jones. He deserves to be paid more than those guys, and he's proven it time and time again, especially for the Buccaneers. And here we are, they're not even coming close to the $50 million that this man wants, that he should be getting paid. He wants $50 million. Like, top quarterbacks right now are getting paid $55 to $60 million. I mean, if you recall, Dak Prescott got paid $60 million, and I would actually argue that Baker Mayfield's pretty close to Dak Prescott's level. And here we are, it's just kind of a mess. If it was me, I'd be paying the man $50 million is actually extremely reasonable for Baker Mayfield services.
You're looking at, more than likely, Tampa's probably looking at, what's this quarterback class looking like in the next year, next 2 years?
It's Dante Moore, it's Arch Manning. And then we're going to have to wait and see because, it's the John Mateers of the world and guys like that. We don't know how guys are going to develop, what they're going to turn into. We don't know what some of these guys are going to turn into.
How many years are left on Baker's deal? Do you know off the top of your
I think he's on a 1-year deal. I think right now he's in a contract year.
Oh, well.
I mean, he might be out the door.
Year left. They might be looking at, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe we do need to, break this thing down and start again.
Yep.
If they're not going to come close to what he's asking for, could you get me 40?
Right. And if you look
how much is he earning now?
Right now he's making 40.
40?
Yeah.
Can you give me 45?
Yeah. So, I mean, and if you look at Alex's thing, he's got some of the quarterbacks pulled up here. It's Julian Sayin, which, I mean, a lot of people are saying Julian Sayin might be the top guy that comes out of this class, but a lot of that has to do with, the Ohio State thing. Obviously, we mentioned Dante Moore, Arch Manning, Mestamaker. It could be one out of OSU. I mean, it's Dante Moore is probably my favorite out of the class.
Yes. Yeah, you're a huge Dante Moore guy.
Yeah.
And I wholeheartedly agree with you.
I like those Oregon quarterbacks. Have you noticed?
Yeah.
Well, running that pro style offense out in the great state of Oregon. But even then, here's a weird ass name, even though he's quite controversial. Brendan Sorsby.
Yeah, he's out there.
If he can get himself cleaned up, if he gets himself cleaned up, from the whole gambling scandal and still ball out, I mean,
I don't see it.
You could.
Mensa.
Yeah, I was just about to point out Darian Mensa. He just came from Duke there.
Yeah, won Duke an ACC title.
Yep. He just came.
How long had it been since Duke had an ACC title?
Yep, a stunning upset, by the way.
And
very stunning.
Dude went from the lower level at Tulane.
Yeah,
right. Put them on the map again.
Mm-hmm.
Then he goes to Duke. Boom.
Yeah,
ACC title. Right.
Yeah,
and now he's going to Miami again. Getting an upward momentum trajectory. Look at that, man.
He's a riser.
Yeah.
So I mean, and now he's at the U. I mean, we could see what he does with Miami. If he has a great year with Miami, we could be having a different conversation.
Oh yeah.
About what and who he is as a player, and what he turns into at the NFL level. We're going to be having a different conversation about that young man.
So you got 3-4 guys, at the top here, at the quarterback spot. Is this Tampa looking at, the division like, okay, we could either go for it and pay Baker, or we could just roll this thing through and then Baker leaves.
But then
now we're looking at a quarterback in the draft.
But then they've got another problem in itself. Bucs defensive tackle Vita Vea has reportedly requested a trade from the team.
Mount Vale.
After not being offered a contract close to what he's seeking either, both him and Baker Mayfield have been trying to get their contract extensions. The Bucs don't seem to want to pay him. And here we are.
And this is what, this is what it sounds like when doves cry. This is what it sounds like when a team feels like, well, maybe we'll look to the future.
Yeah, and it sounds like they're entering a rebuild, and then on top of it, okay, they don't have the money.
This is what it sounds like when Bucks cry.
When Bucks cry, that's what we're doing. But here's the thing. Here's the thing that gets me about this. So let me just look at something here. So the Bucs don't have the money to pay those guys, but they did have the money to sign Ifeatu Melifonwu to a 1-year deal. So I mean, you're not paying.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, man. Come on.
No, you don't want to take care of the quarterback.
Hey, you don't want to take care of your QB. You don't want to take care of your all-pro defensive tackle, but you sure want to go ahead and take care of the 1-year safety that you're bringing in.
2 top 100 players, by the way.
We want to take.
This is the age-old question. What are we doing here?
Yeah, make it make sense, and nobody can seem to make it make sense. I can't make sense of any of this stuff that the Buccaneers are doing with their contracts. It's silly at this point. 2 top 100 players that you're just gonna leave by the wayside. And we have all other stuff going on around that division. A lot happening in the NFC South this week. The Panthers have some stuff going on. Let's talk about the Panthers. They got former Buccaneers quarterback Kyle Trask working out for them this week.
He's not up to the Trask.
He's come on, that was a good.
I see what you did there.
Writes
Oh,
itself.
hell no.
Oh man, that was just
so bad.
So yeah, Kyle Trask, he goes and works out for the Panthers. They're saying this could be the final chance for him in the NFL. This could be it,
As a starter, definitely, most definitely. He's had his opportunity.
Sure.
Coming out University of Florida, he was caught in a weird spread, and he wasn't a spread quarterback. He's more of that pocket passer type.
Right.
And he just didn't, it wasn't, he wanted to go to Florida. It just wasn't the right situation for him. And had he gone to a program that fit more of his style, he probably would have made a better impact. And then when he had his opportunity,
it just didn't pan out. Yeah.
You had your shot.
They were saying that they were hoping that, I'm not going to say they were really hoping that he was going to be the heir apparent to Brady. Is the way they were really shaping him up to be. And then he just really didn't wind up being that heir apparent. I mean, we were like, oh man. And a lot of people were talking about him like, oh, Kyle Trask, he's going to be it. He's going to be that guy. And then he just really never became that guy. Nobody got to really see Kyle Trask really take off, and he just didn't have it.
He comes off as and no disrespect, but a high school hero.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
That high school hero that peaked in high school.
And then he never just never brought it all together, as he moved forward.
Right.
Yep. The Panthers also have some other stuff going on. This one's going to hurt you, Boots. Rookie wide receiver, 3rd round pick, wide receiver Chris Brazzell, the Gazelle. He gets carted off the practice field on Wednesday, later confirmed as an LCL tear. He's put on season-ending IR. Originally, they said he was going to be about 8 weeks he was going to be out, but they have put him on season-ending IR. So Chris Brazzell, the Gazelle, out for the year.
Oh no!
Out for the year. Yeah, that one I knew was going to sting because I knew you really liked him.
Oh man, if you saw this dude at Tennessee consistently over the middle, deep, short, intermediate, the guy just had it. He was a mix between Randy Moss and Mike Evans. I love the way he played, and boom.
Yeah, that one.
B team, stand up or please.
Just sit down now. Just keep some weight off of it. Yeah, just a brutal brutal situation.
Wrist, ice, compression, elevation.
Just awful situation. And you want to talk a kid that really was looking like he was going to have a really bright future there in Carolina. So we're going to have to wait and see if he's still got that speed.
Yeah,
because that was the big thing. Yeah, that speed after when you suffer a big time lower body injury like that, a leg injury like that, when your calling card is just that massive speed.
He could break free at any minute.
Yeah.
Any moment, run away from defenders during the route. And if you throw him open, it was over. When quarterbacks could lead him.
Yeah.
Oh, but man, I don't have my, I believe he was a bootleg B team.
Yes, he was.
Second team.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I had him second team.
Yeah, the Gazelle, Chris Brazell.
Gazelle.
Yeah. So he suffers the leg injury. He'll be out for the year. It's unfortunate. Hopefully the Panthers can figure it out. They still have
they call it Brazzle now.
Yeah,
he's Brazzle.
Yeah,
I thought it was
Brazzle.
It's Brazzle.
Well,
so it's Chris Dazzle Brazzle.
That works. But at the end of the day, they still have a plethora of receivers over there in Carolina. So we'll see what they can do with them. I know how much you love it when I use that word.
I mean, he's still got Tataroa.
Yeah, he's coming off an offensive rookie of the year season.
Fantastic year.
Yep.
Still got Jalen Coker.
Yep.
Xavier Leggett, I guess.
Yep. Coker, who just got signed the 3-year extension.
Stand up, Holy Cross.
Yeah. So I mean, we got some stuff, and then also around that division, the Saints have some stuff going on. Let's talk about the lesser things. First of all, Alvin Kamara and Travis Etienne currently splitting first team reps at running back. Do you think we're going to see a split backfield over there during the season here? Do you think Etienne gets more carries? Do you think Kamara gets more carries? What do you think goes on here?
It's going to be a split because because Alvin Kamara had already intimated, yeah. I'll take a reduced role. He already took reduced money.
Yeah.
Right. So if you're going to take reduced money, you might as well take a reduced role. And you know that Travis Etienne is coming over to help the running back room time to time to the guy that's coming over. And you know that it's going to help not only the team, but to help you not be as banged up at the end of the year or throughout the year as we have seen with Alvin Kamara in the last few seasons.
Yeah, last 2-3 years, he's been a little roughed up at certain points. Alvin Kamara has been getting the ball. I mean, and really it's been the Saints haven't had anything else. It's been him and everybody else.
He operated, he being Kamara, operated best as the RB2. Remember when Mark Ingram was there and Kamara could, just come in and just flash you to death. Right?
Yeah.
But when he was depended on to be the bell cow, so to speak, it didn't quite work out. Some guys just aren't that. So Kamara was at his best when he was the Robin, so to speak, the RB2 or in a split situation. So this will be better for him.
Yeah, I agree. That's kind of what it is. Also, the Saints, they've got some other stuff going on. Let's talk about the former Saint, the now former Saint, now free agent tight end, Taysom Hill. He says that he's still weighing his football future, but he will not be returning to the Saints this season. So we don't know if Taysom Hill's going to be back in the league. I feel like it's kind of interesting that he's not returning to the Saints, but, what do you think the over-under is on? I was thinking about this. What do you think about him going to Denver? Because I could see him following Sean Payton over there. He had his best years with Sean Payton. He was utilized the most with Sean Payton. I think he winds up in Denver. Something tells me that Sean Payton's going to go, hey, why don't you come over here? And he likes bringing on his old players.
Bringing on his old players. Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, that's what he does. There's a loyalty there.
I mean, I can see it. Who's the Adam Troutman?
Yeah,
the tight end.
Troutman's over there.
Troutman's over there. So
Evan Ingram came over there, and he had Ingram over there for a brief minute. And I mean, it's just listen.
I could see it. Taysom Hill, the switchblade.
And the Swiss Army player. And don't forget, for speaking of Broncos and tight ends, we can't do that without being on hashtag Joey Watch.
Yeah.
Our great friend Justin Jolie. So he's going to have some stiff competition. And if Taysom Hill decides to take this role, let's just hypothetically see that there's an offer on the table. and Taysom Hill decides to take that offer. What happens? How does the depth chart get shuffled at that point?
Yeah, that's going to be the interesting thing is what do they do with Taysom Hill? I mean, I know Taysom Hill, they like to do a lot of trick plays with him. I know they like to do these, line him up at quarterback, line him up at tight end, line him up out wide. You should get him in out of the backfield.
Run him. You can throw. You throw it to him. They'll find a spot.
Yeah.
But the most important thing in that quote was weighing his football future.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like a guy who's ready to sign another contract somewhere else.
Oh, and he is an older guy. He's about 35 years old.
Coming off of that, what was the
I think it was an ACL tear, wasn't it?
Achilles?
Oh, yeah, it might have been an Achilles. It was lower body.
Yeah. And so I think maybe, when you hear stuff like that, weighing his football future, it's not like he came out and said, oh, I'm playing again.
Yeah.
I'm just not playing for New Orleans, but I'm playing again. He didn't say that.
No.
Right? Weighing his football future, the options, that's like, 1 foot,
Yeah.
1 foot in the retirement home.
Yeah, might be about done.
The other foot on the banana peel.
Yeah, might be about done. One guy that's got a lower body injury of his own
for soaking in some Epsom salt.
Yeah, one guy dealing with an injury of his own, lower body, defensive tackle Brian Breesy suffered a torn ACL at camp on Wednesday. He is out for the season for the Saints. So he is.
Oh no!
Yeah, he's gone for the year. That's going to be a tough loss for the Saints there, not having him in the interior of that defensive line.
Injuries all around the division because I know you guys talked about it the other day. Scorton.
Yep. Nick Scorton.
Scorton gone.
Yep, he had himself another one with an ACL tear. So that's just happening. I mean, this is every year. Every year we get this, come training camp, come preseason, guys start suffering injuries like this before the season even starts.
Yeah.
And their seasons are just, gone just like that.
Really, really tough for Carolina, which is why I've been saying for weeks, New Orleans is going to win the division.
Yeah.
But this further this is putting me even more, solidified in that.
Wide receiver Chris Olave to a 4-year, $132 million extension. It's $33 million per year and with $90 million guaranteed. Originally, Olave wasn't participating in practice on Wednesday, but because of the contract issue, but the Saints got the deal done. And they go ahead and they get him situated and he's back to practice now, but Chris Olave gets his deal and they get him back into training camp, which is a good thing. I mean, we've seen what happens when guys miss training camp. Alex, you've mentioned it last show, Brandon Ayuk's situation, him missing training camp. Now here we are, Chris Olave. They do the right thing. They get him signed to a deal, $33 million per year. Technically, it doesn't reset the market or anything like that. Technically, It's below the top guys like Jefferson and Chase and those kind of guys. But it's about exactly. It's about what Olave's worth right now, and he's on a team that's on the up and up right now. And Olave last year, I think he was the number 6 receiver when it came to yardage, the receiving yards. He had it quietly a very, very good season. Did Chris Olave, here we are. The Saints do the right thing. They get their guy back on the field and they get him situated. And now he's going to be doing his thing for the Saints. He's going to go through a full training camp, right? And we're going to see, hopefully, a healthy Chris Olave out there.
Yeah. It'll be the first time in a while because you say about what he's worth. Being the Saints, we're going to pay Olave, tip-top money.
Yeah.
No way in the world they were going to do that, but they knew they had to pay him because of what he means to the organization and what he's been able to do. And Tyler Shuck looked very comfortable throwing to Olave. Mm-hmm. And now you remember Jordan Tyson, their first-round draft pick. There's also Bryce Lance, bootleg B team on the.
Yes, there is.
But when you look at the Saints receivers, not a lot there. Mm-hmm. Right? A little thin after Olave because I love Bryce Lance, the natural, but we don't know yet.
But they also
Jordan Tyson,
2 running backs.
Got those injury issues.
Yeah. They got 2 running backs though that catch the ball extremely well in Travis Etienne.
They do.
And Alvin Kamara, 2 guys that that's always been their kind of bread and butter is catching the ball out of the backfield, making plays with their legs.
Yeah.
And I think that also opens things up as well for them too.
Yeah.
They also have Juwan James over there
at the right end spot. Yeah.
So
it's good, but if Olave misses time, Right now, you're looking at Jordan Tyson, a rookie with injury concern.
You're right.
And Bryce Lance, rookie, unproven in North Dakota State, coming from, Division 2 or 3 or whatever, however they're talking about that division now. But it's, still a little unproven against top tier talent.
Young team.
Right. So it's still some growing pains. But again, I still think they win the division.
Alex, do the Saints win the division here?
Yep. And you said it before. Momentum is money, and that's what the Saints have. It's momentum. You're a big believer in that. You've done that many times over the past couple of weeks, and that's what they have. Tyler Shuck, coming off one of the most surprising NFL seasons of any rookie career. I mean, he didn't save the world or anything, but we really thought he was going to be yucky. But turns out he's not that yucky. Or the word yucky kind of, is now a positive connotation here on the show.
Yeah.
It's definitely very weird. But I'll tell you, the Saints, I think it's not as much of a problem. It's not as much as an issue with the Saints. Oh, they got enough power, or they got enough firepower. They do. But the real problem is that everybody else is so far behind the 8 ball.
Yeah.
So I think the Saints are going to win the division, but they'll win by default.
Yeah, winning by default, that's kind of a great way to put it, because I don't think that other teams are going to be capable of keeping up with them. I don't think these other teams. I mean, the Panthers are dealing with injuries. The Bucs are falling apart, and now you've got a situation where you've got the Saints that are just flying up. Tyler Shuck looks so good at the end of last year. I don't think anybody in that division really can hold a candle to him at this point.
The way that the Saints played from the middle after the Spencer Rattler, Tyler Shuck, who's it going to be?
Yeah.
Shuck struggled a little bit in those couple of early games, but then he got his feet underneath them and he started playing hot. And they played very well towards the end of the season, had a nice stretch of games, really nice win against Tennessee. They had a really good showing towards the end of the year. And now, things quiet.
Yeah.
Right? There's not a whole lot of noise in New Orleans.
Not a lot.
Now they can just get back to business and just go about doing what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, I think New Orleans is going to be a very interesting group here. They're gonna take that division. I really think that that's coming. And another team that I think is going to take their division, and there's going to be a lot of momentum on their side, is the Houston Texans. They've got a lot going on here. One thing that I know you're going to be excited about, Boots, Tank Dell. He gets cleared to return to training camp for team activities. GM Nick Caserio says that Tank Dell will be limited in his first few weeks of practice as he ramps up, but he has been cleared. So we're going to be seeing a little bit more wide receiver Tank Dell with the Houston Texans. Are you excited to see Tank back?
It's wonderful to see him back on the field. But what does he look like in the game?
Yeah, I mean,
right?
It's
great to see him back out there doing what he, is being paid or loves to do and wants to do. Love to see that, right? Especially the type of injury that he had, right?
Yeah,
so you love to see that. I just, I'm a fan of his game, how he plays. So I'm good. But how does he play?
That's going to be the big question. Also, the Texans go out and sign running backs Hassan Haskins and Alexander Madison, two very interesting signings here. I'm kind of surprised by these signings, but I thought about the type of running backs these guys are and the running styles of these guys. Power runners,
plotting.
Yeah, a lot of.
I think Madison has lost a lot of juice.
He hasn't seen the field a whole lot in the last year or two here.
And that's why.
Yeah.
Just guys that are plotting and don't. When Hassan Haskins was at Michigan, he kept the offense on pace, right?
Sure.
He wasn't flashy, right? He'd give you 3.5, 4 yards, but he would give you those tough yards in high leverage situations, and he would get to the goal. When you got on the goal line, Hassan Haskins would score.
Sure.
Right? And so that was the calling card, but we haven't seen that. It's like he's running in cement him and Madison.
Yeah, it's strange.
Yeah.
It's a strange situation. And I don't know what in the hell is going on. And Madison he's an interesting little dilemma there because he's not a big guy, but he seeks out contact. And like it's like this is not the type of running style that you should have. I feel like he needs to be seeking out less contact in these situations. So I'm a little surprised by this signing, and I feel like
depth for training camp.
Yeah, that could very well be. But I do think that the Houston Texans are on track to win their division. I think they're coming for it. Nobody's gonna.
I'll like elaborate more when you get the preview.
Yeah.
Right. But man, it's between Houston and Jacksonville.
Yes.
Period. Right. And Jacksonville, I spoke on them earlier in the beginning, right? Mm-hmm. They're looking better and better to me.
Yes.
Houston always strong, the defense strong, the coaching strong. CJ Stroud, how does he play this season? Because
new
last
offensive
season,
coordinator, right?
He was up and down. It's not same guy, Kaylee, but he was up and down last year, and they changed a bunch of things in the offense. And now, what will he look like knowing more now in this offense and operating? But they have an entirely new offensive line, just about.
Yeah,
another shuffling up front. So that's going to take an adjustment period. So Jacksonville is looking better and better to me in the division, but man, it's a toss up.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting little situation. I want to see what goes on with that elsewhere around that division. Let's talk about them Jacksonville Jaguars. Chris Rodriguez has been cleared to participate in individual work at training camp. He's been dealing with a foot injury, but the Jags, they said they were really excited about Bashal Rootin' Tootin'. And look, I still am too, but do you think Chris Rodriguez winds up dipping into Bashal Tootin's, time? Do you think he winds up taking some carries away from Tootin? How much do you think he cuts into Bashal Tootin's workload? A lot of people thought Chris Rodriguez was the favorite to take this job. But
they did bring him in.
But it sounded like, according to Liam Cohen, sounds like he thinks Bashal Tootin's in for a big year. Alex, I know you're a Bashal Tootin guy. Where are you at?
I think that you may see a split in carries, but at the end of the day, when the season really starts getting on the road, I honestly believe Bashal Tootin, this is his year to shine. This is his year to step up to the plate and go, listen, I'm here now. You guys picked me. You guys picked me fourth round, and I'm going to show you that I was. Definitely more than seventh round. To set. I'll show you that I was second round talent.
Yeah,
but I honestly believe that if you are a fantasy guy, we mentioned this last week. If you're a fantasy guy and you're staring down Bashal Tootin and you're like in round 4 or round 3, scoop him up. Because he's due for a receipt.
Yeah.
Now that Travis Etienne is getting town.
Yeah, he's due for a big year. Boots,
possibly.
You think so?
Yeah. Here's the thing about me with Bashal Tootin. The sizzle is there.
Yeah.
Are we looking at a 300 carry guy? I don't think we're looking at a 300 carry guy. We're looking more at a 200, 225 carry guy, which is why they're bringing in Chris Rodriguez, who is a strong runner.
Yeah.
Right. But the consistency of keeping the offense on pace. Can he do that consistently? There's also LaKen Allen, running back out of Syracuse. They still have him. They like him.
He's still over there.
That third down threat. So, I like Bashal Tootin, but I just don't see him as the foundational back for this offense.
Sure. And I could see that. To me, I like Tootin a lot. I think he could be in line for a big season. I think you're going to see
750 yards and 7 touchdowns.
I'm saying 12 to 1300.
12 to 1300.
I think he's going to go off. You're going to see them college type numbers. You're going to see him go for that 12 to
minimum
13.
Okay, minimum 750, 7 TDs.
Yeah, I
can see that.
I think you're going to see about 12 to 1300, and you're going to see, I'm with you, about 5 to 7 touchdowns on this season. I think he's going to have a big year.
Okay,
it's going to be a big year for Tootin. I think it's going to be exciting.
Yeah, he had five touchdowns last year, so it's possible. And splitting carries with Travis Etienne. So now, let's see what happens now that he's got the book, so to speak.
Yeah, let's see what happens when he's got the full workload. And let's talk about the Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns.
Do we have to?
Well, they're making some moves. First of all, tight end, some good news for them. Tight end Harold Fannin Jr. is a full go to begin training camp after undergoing offseason groin surgery. So he's back out on the field. That's good news for Harold Fannin. Smart moves. You can't be mad at $62.2 million extension deal. $31.1 million per year, $52.3 million guaranteed. He had 2 years remaining on his 5-year, $100 million contract already hanging around. That makes him the highest paid corner in NFL history. This is the second time they've done that, by the way. Second time he's become the highest paid corner in NFL history.
I'm throwing out the bank. Hope you don't speak to me.
Yeah, he's just getting paid $31.1 million per year for Denzel Ward. Worth every penny, Boots?
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, it's there's a short list.
You got barbecue back there, and you ain't invite me. Hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
You talking about?
Had to go. Pull that out. But yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he's been a huge part of that defense.
Yeah.
Arguably one of the best, I think probably top 5, top 6 corners in football.
Yeah.
Consistently.
Short list.
He's entering, I think this locks him down for his age 31 and 32 seasons. I think he's entering his age 28 season this year. 29 season. So he's got locked down for 29, 30, 31, and 32. So he's locked down for the next 4 years. So good for him, Denzel Ward. But then they also do another good thing. They go out and sign safety Grant Delpit to a 3-year, $48 million extension. That's $16 million per year, $35 million guaranteed.
The only GD that I will ever say, Grant Delpit.
Yeah, he was in the final year of a contract worth $12 million per year. So now he comes in and gets himself $16 million per year for the next 3. So that locks down Grant Delpit for I think through 2031. So I mean they lock him down.
One of the best safeties in the league coming out of LSU. I heard a guy actually say when I don't remember who he was, but I heard him say when quarterbacks throw a pick and it's to him, all they can say instincts, the intangibles, which we love when quarterbacks have those intangibles to be able to lift the play of the players around them. That is a skill. That's something that you're born with. That's not something that you can coach into someone, right?
Yeah.
The ability to raise the level of play of the people around you. That's what separates the elites and all-time greats from the really good players. Position at the right time.
He does have a knack for being in the right position, a knack for being around the football consistently. He's one of the best around. I agree. I think he, again, another guy that one of the probably
got a shelf full of knickknacks.
Probably 12 or top 5 safeties in the league, top 6 shelf full of knickknacks. And patty wax. Does he have patty wax too?
And dogs have bones.
But
I was wondering when someone was going to put that reference out there.
And also, let's talk about the Browns. This is where the Browns do interesting things. Todd Monken has reiterated that first-team reps will alternate between Deshaun Watson and Shedeur Sanders.
That's to push Shedeur. That's to push Shedeur.
Reports have indicated that Sanders has been winning the battle in camp thus far, though. But Todd Monken has been saying that both quarterbacks are basically splitting first-team reps. Interesting situation there with the Browns. I mean, what are we doing here?
The last time Scotty Freytown threw a football was on Tecmo Bowl. He could outthrow Deshaun Watson right now. Okay?
Right. I don't know about all that.
Or was it Super Tecmo Bowl?
There's Tecmo Super Bowl, but you know, yeah. But listen, I agree with you. I think Shedeur could outduel Deshaun Watson any day of the week. I don't know what the hell Todd Monken's doing.
Yeah, it's just a way to push Shedeur, right? Get him. Hey, you really want to be the guy? Mm-hmm. Do you think you already have this gig? Or do you want to earn it on the field?
Yep.
Right? So, yeah, we're going to have a QB competition. I mean, they drafted Dylan Gabriel. We haven't heard him.
Haven't heard anything about him. No.
It's bad when Deshaun Watson is out playing Dylan Gabriel. Right?
It's a disaster.
So, there's no way Shedeur Sanders loses this battle unless he wants to.
Absolute mess over there. The Browns QB situation has been a mess for about 2 decades now. I mean, if not a little longer. So, I mean, here we are.
They had a respite with Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
For a minute.
Yeah, they fixed it for a hot second, but it is what it is. The Bengals, elsewhere around that division, the Bengals avoid a catastrophe. Edge rusher Shamar Stewart, he got carted off the practice field on Wednesday. He avoided a season-ending leg injury with just a hyperextended left knee, no ligament damage. But he's going to miss a little bit of time. But Shamar Stewart nearly tore his leg apart. So the good news for the Bengals, Shamar Stewart, could you imagine what they would have done without him?
The last season, it was the Shamar Stewart saga. Right? With Trey Hendrickson. And we're like, oh boy, the Bengals, here they are again, not doing the right things by their players, not treating their players right. Mm-hmm. And now, you don't want this to be another story. So that's good that he's, it's not as bad as they initially thought. So, well, at least that's good for the defense and for the young man.
Yep. More stuff going.
I sound old as hell. I said for the young man.
I've been here forever.
Elsewhere around the division, the Steelers.
That's my bedtime.
The Steelers have some stuff happening. Corner Joey Porter Jr. gets placed on the PUP list after aggravating his back during practice on Tuesday. And defensive back Jalen Ramsey suffers a knee injury in minicamp. He's not going to require surgery, but he will miss a few weeks. So their secondary getting banged up over there in Pittsburgh.
It's not good.
Alex, the Steelers, do you think they're going to be able to survive this situation here? I mean, leg injuries galore here when it comes to their DBs.
I mean, do you think you should blame the turf at this point? I mean, seriously though, it's not good. When you have your DBs start dropping like flies. However, I am of the opinion that when there is a will with Mike Tomlin, there's a way.
Well, hang on. It's Mike McCarthy over there now. Mike Tomlin, long gone.
He meant to say McCarthy.
I've known that man being on the sideline for like way over 10 years.
Yeah.
So
I tried to give you an out. You wouldn't take it. I tried to give you an out, Alex, and you wouldn't take it. He meant to say McCarthy. Wink, wink, elbow.
Oh no, but no, it's okay. It's okay. No, I look.
He has.
I mean, we've watched that man age before our eyes. But no, I don't blame you.
Now that Mike McCarthy is the new head coach, you really have to rely on the relationship that he has with Aaron Rodgers. Do their time together in Green Bay. But honestly, if you don't have that steel curtain that's predicated with Pittsburgh Steelers football, you're going to run into some problems. And Ravens beefed up their they beefed up their team in the draft. Got some really nice picks. I think Baltimore's taking the division, but man, it's hard for me to say by how much at this point.
I think the Steelers are in deep trouble right now because with that secondary situation is bad, but I don't think they made the right defensive coordinator pick. They went and picked up, obviously Patrick Graham over there.
And what did the Las Vegas Raiders defense do when he was the coordinator?
Not shit.
It's one of the most head scratching hires. This whole off season.
It's just been concerning. I don't know what in the hell Mike McCarthy was thinking hiring him, and then you bring Patrick Graham in, and now you're suffering injuries in your secondary. It's like, what are you looking to accomplish here?
The talent or was it the coaching in Vegas?
Yeah,
that's a question, right?
Yeah,
but man, this ain't good either way.
I mean, especially with some of the defensive coordinators that were available at the time when you were making these hires.
Yeah,
it was like, well, excuse me, allergy season going crazy around here. But no, that's just one of those things where it's like, why are we bringing in Patrick Graham? Why is this a thing? I don't understand the logic. And then with the Ravens, Alex, you bring up the Ravens defensive tackle Nnamdi Madubuike. He is past his physical. He's removed from the PUP list. And they get their star defensive tackle back on the field. So, I mean,
the neck injury?
Yeah, dealing with the neck injury last year. Good. He's back. And the Ravens get their star defensive tackle back out on the field. So, I mean, bad news for the Steelers, bad news for the Browns, bad news for the Bengals. I mean, that's
That's about the long and short of it.
Yeah. Just bad news all around that for anyone looking to blitz on the interior there. This upcoming season. Speaking of interior pass rushers, rush up the interior there. Speaking of interior pass rushers, let's go ahead and talk about the Eagles making big signings. Defensive tackle Jalen Carter gets signed to a 4-year, $152 million extension, $38 million per year. It's $106 million guaranteed. It can be worth up to $160 million with incentives. And keeps him with the team through 2031, makes him the highest paid defensive tackle in NFL history. So good for him. And he winds up getting paid the big money. And Jalen Carter, worth every penny, I would assume here. I mean, highest paid defensive tackle in history.
Until the salary cap goes up and then somebody else breaks that.
Or until the spit starts flying at midfield, right?
Yeah, he was, he was
waiting for that.
Jalen Carter he's a difference maker on the defensive line. When he's not in there, you can tell, right? When he's not playing, you can really tell. And that's a lot of times you can tell how good a player is by how the team plays when they're not on the field.
Sure.
Right? If they don't miss a beat, you can say, okay, well, maybe we don't need to pay this guy, X amount.
Right.
But when he's not in the lineup and you see the crater that it creates.
And here we are. Yeah, that makes it a little problematic. So, that's where we're at. We get a little concerned at that point about, I wonder what's going to happen with Jalen Carter if he's not on the field because he did something stupid during a game, like bit on Dak Prescott, or because he decided to go out and do something stupid off the field, like race his car, or the attitude's you got to reel him in.
Yeah,
it's a lot of money. I thought
spitting on somebody in the game.
Yeah,
come on.
I thought stuff like that was first play of the game, mind you, first play. Yeah. But those are the types of things where it's like, what are we doing? Yeah. But here we are. Jalen Carter gets paid the big money. Hey, good for him. Keep cashing them checks. But also the Eagles edge rusher, Jonathan Grenard, he starts out on the PUP list with a pec strain he suffered while lifting weights. The Eagles say he should be back soon, but Jonathan Grenard on the PUP now. That's got to be a little problematic for the Eagles. They went and made him they traded for him in the NFL draft from the Vikings. For a 3rd round pick. The Vikings used that 3rd round pick on the safety out of Miami there. So here we are. Jonathan Grenard on the PUP.
Not good.
Not good at all. I mean, the Eagles needed an edge rusher. That's for damn sure. They needed an edge rusher this upcoming year. And now they wind up with their star edge rusher, the guy that they gave away a really high-end pick for.
Yeah.
On the PUP. I mean, with a pec injury. Grenard's a hell of a player. He's been a hell of a disruption. He's tough. Yeah, he's been a monster for the Vikings.
And so many injuries with these, especially these soft tissue injuries.
Yeah.
You wonder, again, I think it's because guys are overtraining and they're overworking themselves, because you did not hear about these types of injuries in the 80s and the 90s and the early 2000s. It wasn't until, 2010s where guys were starting to, work out year round and basically break their bodies down. And you also have to wonder, what are some of these guys taking that could be leading to some of these soft tissue injuries? Because there's some guys taking some stuff. We know,
we're not stupid.
There's some guys taking some stuff, and you wonder, I'm not saying that that's the case here, but you wonder sometimes, why so often, and a lot of times it's, again, the overworking, the overtraining, and then the whatever they're putting in their body.
Yeah, it raises a lot of questions. So, that's something that we got to wonder about. But Jonathan Renard, he's going to be dealing with that. Also, a guy that's going to be dealing with some injury stuff is Lions safety Kirby Joseph. He's not expected to be ready for week 1 due to the knee injury he suffered last season. So the Lions will be without him likely for week 1. Kirby Joseph,
And
Alex.
how much longer?
Yeah. Alex, that one's got a sting.
Yeah, it's no good. I mean, I know you have your opinions about Kirby Joe's play. It's not. I know you're not a fan. I'll sit there and admit it. He tore Hawkins' ACL with that dirty head to the knee.
Yep.
I'll say that he did. But you cannot deny that he is an asset on that defense. And what is the one place the Lions have struggled is defense. Not only did Kirby Joseph get put on the pup list, Brian Branch was also placed on the pup list.
Yes.
So you have two top caliber safeties. How many times do we have they called Brian Branch's name during games? He was instrumental in their destruction of Dallas, either last year or a couple or 2 years ago. But with this, the Lions. This isn't anything new for the Detroit Lions. Unfortunately, I've been a fan of this team for well over 30 years, and it's always the same. The defense is always a sick ward. It's always next man up there. They somehow seem to string together, a competent blitz, some competent blitz packages. Calvin Shepard should be given a bronze medal for putting these schemes together after Aaron Glenn's get down. But it's like when you have two guys like that go down like this, if you're saving for the latter half of the year, I suppose I could breathe a little easier. However, we're going to do a little thing I like to call playing the schedule game. Now, one of the other key things that you brought up, I think what was it, like fourth or fifth easiest?
Yes, they're one of the easiest schedules in football this year.
So now granted, they don't have a very easy matchup against the Bills on the 17th, but you got Saints, Jets, Panthers, Cardinals. That's easily a 4-1 start. Mm-hmm. Then you're running the back-to-back Packers. You got Miami that's basically up shit creek without a paddle. Patriots. I could see the Patriots hitting strides there. The hapless Buccaneers, and then a Thanksgiving matchup with the Chicago Bears. That's going to be that's going to be a massacre. They're going to come back looking for revenge because the last time the Lions played the Bears on Thanksgiving, that was when Matt Eberflus was the head coach, and they almost won the game, but Matt Eberflus's head was elsewhere. It wasn't on coaching the game. It was elsewhere. Let's just say that. Falcons, Titans, another division matchup against the Vikings. A matchup. I think we called like 12-5.
Yeah, I mean,
collectively, I think we called 12-5, 11-6.
Outside of their divisional games, outside of those, it's a very light schedule if you look at it. Mm-hmm. And outside of their divisional games and the showdown against Buffalo, you're talking a pretty light schedule. I mean, there are easily a lot of games that they should be just demolishing teams. So I mean, it is light then, and Calvin Shepard's going to have his work cut out for him though, because you got defensive tackle Lee McNeil. He left practice early today due to a neck injury, so you're dealing with that. Also, the rookie linebacker Jimmy Rolder, he leaves practice early today due to a leg injury, so those both happened today. Hopefully those things aren't serious for the Lions there and those players, but the Lions are going to be having to keep an eye on that stuff. That's going to get interesting. Elsewhere around that division, the Packers. Tight end Tucker Kraft has been activated from the PUP list and is participating in training camp activities. He suffered a torn ACL back in week 9 of the 2025 season. Boots, Tucker Kraft, that's a guy that you're a big fan of. You excited to see him back out on the field?
Oh, absolutely. It goes back to everything I was saying earlier about other injuries. What does he look like?
Yeah.
Right? Because he was such a big part of that offense, a big target for Jordan Love. Fantastic in the run game. You're talking about a combo tight end who could do whatever you needed him to do and when you needed him to do it, right? And everybody knows how good Tucker Kraft is because he basically took Luke, the tall 6'8", the 6'8" tight end that they drafted. Musgrave, yeah. Took Luke Musgrave and made him forgettable. You see what just happened to me?
Yeah.
Made him forgettable.
Yeah.
So Tucker Kraft, is great to see him back on the field. Let's see what he looks like, though.
Yeah, I want to see how he looks and the way he moves after an ACL tear like that. I want to see what becomes of it. But Tucker Kraft is good. Obviously he's shown that he's a weapon on that Packers team. He's become the better pass catcher of the two tight ends. We thought it was going to be Musgrave, but it's become the Tucker Kraft show. And he's obviously tight end 1 over there. He's going to continue being tight end 1 over there. Yeah. He's excited to be back out there. So, I mean, and it's good for him to see that ACL is healed up so quickly after, mid-season ACL tear. We're talking week 9. So, I mean, that's still relatively late in the year to be suffering an injury like that, to already be back out there for training camp, ready to go. Yeah. I think that says a lot about him. Also in that division, the Vikings making some moves here. First, they go out and sign, they're calling him a linebacker, but he's really a safety / linebacker, Jamal Adams, to a 1-year deal. So they bring him in. I think this whole thing is because Harrison Smith's probably not coming back. And that's why I think Jamal Adams is back out there. They're going to have him in that safety linebacker hybrid, kind of like they have Metellus.
And they are going to, whoever, just throw it to Adams. Just throw it on wherever Adams is, throw it at him. Yeah. Because that is his greatest liability, is coverage. Yeah. You want him to come up and pop somebody in a run game, he's already done it. Yeah. You know what I mean? But when you ask him to cover somebody, wait, where did he go?
Yeah, he ain't that guy.
So, this is a one year type deal. What I would be doing if I were Flores would just be using him sporadically because, you don't have to keep him out there the entire time.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Use him in certain instances and don't overexpose him to where he gets lost in coverage and you lose the ability to contain the offense.
Yeah, I think they're going to use him rotationally, and I think that's kind of where they're headed with him. I like Jamal Adams. The problem that I have, one of the biggest problems I have with him is his injury history. Obviously he's hurt a lot. That's going to be one of the big things. Health and
when you play as physical as he has, that's going to happen.
Health has been an issue for him for about the last 4 years now. Yeah. And when he's healthy, he's one of the better safeties in football. When he's not healthy, he's a disaster. Yeah. And that's just kind of what it is.
One-dimensional game, will hurt.
Yeah, there was a period there where coverage-wise he was not bad, and then it just seemed to go away. It went
with the injuries piling up. The coverage skills started to
dissipate. Yeah. Also, the Vikings making a really, I mean, look, this move can be debated. I understand why people love this move. I like the move, but I'm a little kind of irked by it a little bit. They signed right tackle Brian O'Neill to a 4-year, $96 million extension. It's $24 million per year, $66.77 million guaranteed. So I understand the move. I get it. Brian O'Neill's been one of the best right tackles in all of football for years now. I mean, that's not even debatable. He has been one of, if not the best right tackle in the game. I mean, that's just what it is. Brian O'Neill's been phenomenal. I won't even argue it. I understand why they paid him. I'm not mad at them for paying him. $24 million per year is a discount to be getting this guy. My thing about this is the salary cap situation for the Vikings moving forward. You just went out and you picked up an offensive tackle in the 3rd round of the draft. I kind of felt like, okay, you went and drafted this key young kid who I think is going to be the heir apparent to O'Neal. And instead you got this young offensive tackle who's now kind of looking like a depth piece. You picked him up in the 3rd round. It just, I get it and I don't all at the same time. Like, I get why you'd keep O'Neal in the room, but then I kind of don't understand why you're doing this and paying all this money to Brian O'Neal because, you picked up the kid in the 3rd round. Is the kid the heir apparent or not? Like, a lot of questions there. Sucks up a lot of cap space, but I do understand that the salary cap is going up. Just, it's kind of an interesting thing, especially with how the Vikings salary cap situation was. Because we knew the Vikings were basically in salary cap hell, and that's one of the reasons why they dealt Jonathan Grenard the way that they did, and said, all right, we're going to put all of our eggs in the Dallas Turner basket. So it makes you wonder a little bit about what they're doing and what they're thinking and
the draft as well. Yeah. When you look at the draft, defensive lineman, offensive lineman.
Yep.
Building from the trenches, from the inside out. Because they know that they're going to have people leaving, right?
Sure.
They know they're not going to be able to pay everybody. Some players are going to have to go. But how do you start that rebuild process, or how do you rebuild as you're competing, right? You got to start with the inside.
Yeah, and it creates an interesting little dynamic there. Nolan Teasley, I mean, this is basically his first 2 big signings. He's familiar with Adams. Adams played over in Seattle, so if you recall, he's familiar with Jamal Adams over there because his time in Seattle, Nolan Teasley. So he's got the familiarity there, and now Nolan Teasley makes his 2nd move, the big signing of Brian O'Neill. So we'll see, what Teasley continues to do and how he continues to build this team and recreate this team and deal with the cap space situations and the cap space constraints that the Minnesota Vikings have. But new general manager out there making some moves.
And just don't tease us.
Yeah, it's terrible. Speaking of Nolan Teasley's former team, the Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks were working out former Cowboys safety Donovan Wilson earlier this week. The Seattle's current defensive coordinator, Aiden Durd, he coached Wilson in Dallas. Donovan Wilson, he kind of struggled in Dallas last season to the tune of a 50.6 PFF grade last year, but he did well in previous years. Interesting moves. Do you think that Donovan Wilson is going to wind up as a Seattle Seahawk, or do you think that it's just kind of, he's working out for us and he's just not going to be here, or do you think that they want him over there because of his previous tenure with Aiden Durd?
I mean, familiarity and experience always helps.
Yeah.
If you got something new going on, somebody who's been in the room and knows what's going on and can, relay messages and relay the calls to other players, on the team. Hey, this is what this means. This is that, blah, blah, blah. You could have a somewhat of a coach on the field.
Sure.
If they're familiar with the language and the they can, relay that information to the teammates. But, this one of those, we'll see what happens move.
Yeah, we're going to see what happens with it.
It's not a splash move by any means.
No, but it is a move if they do wind up bringing him in. I mean, you get yourself a safety that, again, like you said, the familiarity is there and he already knows the defense that he wants to run. So it kind of works. Elsewhere, you got the 49ers. Alex, this was one of the moves that you broke to me last night. Deebo Samuel, the wide receiver, formerly of the Washington Commanders. He goes back to his old team, the 49ers, on a 1-year, $7 million deal. Deebo back to the Niners.
Welcome home, Deebo.
Oh, yeah.
And
Be really bad.
Speaking of the 49ers, I brought his name up earlier in the podcast too, but man, I was going to say, spoiler alert. You thought the situation with Brandon Ayuk was bad before?
Oh, yeah.
Just wait till he posts. See what he posted to his Instagram story this week.
Yeah.
Let's talk more about Deebo Samuel.
Yeah, well, first of all, we can talk about Brandon Ayuk. This kind of all goes hand in hand. Brandon Ayuk is so desperate to get released right now. He's just doing all the crazy shit that he can to try and get the Niners to release him. Yeah. Kyle Shanahan got into a car accident last week, and it was a pretty nasty car accident. Kyle Shanahan has not been at 49ers practice.
Right.
He said he took the blame for the car accident, but he said he dropped his phone and he was digging through the seats to go find it when he got into the car accident, which the police said had marked in their police report that it was the girl's fault. That he had hit the other person, said it was the other driver's fault, the girl who he hit. But
what girl?
21-year-old young lady that he was digging for his phone, went over the line there and hit her head on basically. Whoa. And so thankfully everybody's okay.
Yeah,
Shanahan
his bank account in about 3 months. Yeah, he filed.
Yeah, Shanahan suffered some injuries and whatever the case may be. I mean, him admitting fault, I mean, shit, I would have never admitted fault in that situation with all the money that I have. But, I digress. Maybe that just makes me an awful human being, but neither here nor there.
Well, they got traffic cameras, though.
Yeah.
They can see, he was over the line.
Yeah. But in this case, Brandon Ayuk goes out and starts posting jokes on his Instagram about the car accident. And Brandon,
did he?
Yeah. I mean, it was just an absolute disaster. Brandon Ayuk is so desperate for the Niners to release him.
That's classic.
He's going full Antonio Brown. Like that's where he's at now.
Get him tested, man. Yeah. What are you on to where you would be doing all of this stuff in public and online? Where people can see this.
He's gone full Antonio Brown. I'm telling you,
crazy,
he does not care. He has gone full Antonio Brown. And what's crazy is I don't think Brandon Ayuk, I think he's so desperate for the Niners to release him. But the crazy thing is he actually thinks a team's going to sign him. Ain't nobody going to sign you acting crazy.
It's
I wouldn't sign him. Nobody's going to sign you.
I wouldn't. Desperate.
Yeah. You better be damn desperate to be signing that crazy man. I wouldn't be signing him.
That's wild.
I get you don't want to be in San Francisco anymore. I understand it. But
a lot of people don't want to be in San Francisco anymore.
Yeah, but do I really want to sign this guy when he's acting all wild? Absolutely not. I don't want him on my team. To me, that just sounds like I'm asking for trouble. I'm just not going to do all that. So yeah, he winds up in that situation. But this Deebo signing, Deebo Samuel, comes to the 49ers. The Niners have been dealing with some injuries, and then obviously they're dealing with the Ayuk situation, but now they're dealing with Ricky Pearsall having some knee swelling related to the PCL injury he suffered last year.
Golly, can they catch a break in San Fran?
The team says all options are being explored, and there is some concern, but they went out and they explored the option of Deebo Samuel and decided that was the best option, was signing him to the 1-year, $7 million deal. Deebo, I mean, I was surprised that Deebo Samuel didn't get a bigger contract in the offseason. I know he's, and now he's going to wind up coming back to San Francisco into the Shanahan system and that, joining Mike Evans. So now, if you look at it though, I mean, Stribling, Mike Evans, and now you got Deebo Samuel over there in San Francisco. their receiving core has gotten a little dangerous over there. Plus George Kittle coming back. I mean, got a little interesting, has it not?
One of the best tight ends in football.
Yeah,
and Debo himself said, he's going on year 8. I still feel like he's got a lot, at least like 3 or 4 good years left. Now, whether that's actually true can be debated. But what cannot be debated is Debo's talent. So let's get a look at. I wanted to see how many years he has in the league. You said year 8.
Yeah, I mean, he struggled a little bit in Washington. He struggled a little bit in Washington, but Debo throughout his time in San Francisco was always, I mean, barring an injury, Debo was always one of the best players in the league. And one of the big problems that he was having in San Francisco is how they were utilizing him. They were utilizing him as a running back, which he didn't want to be utilized as. If you recall, he was very upset that they kept running him out of the backfield, and he wasn't happy about it because it was causing him to get banged up and causing him to get hurt. And the reason that they were doing that a lot of times was because, Christian McCaffrey was hurt, and they didn't really have any other running backs, and Debo was more successful coming out of the backfield than the running backs that they did have on the roster at the time. So, I mean, he wasn't happy about his utilization, but Debo, when he was used as a pure receiver, and the same way when he was in college, when Debo was healthy, when he was in college, and that was a big problem for him coming out of college, when he was healthy, he was one of the best receivers out there. And then if you looked at Debo when he was healthy as a receiver in San Francisco, he was very successful, and his numbers proved it. He had over 1,000 yards pretty consistently. He was one of the best. Now, here we are. We're coming back to San Francisco. Last year, the utilization really was not very good over there in Washington. And then he obviously didn't have the proper quarterback play because Jaden Daniels went down last year. He was injured quite a bit. And then he was dealing with Marcus Mariota, who is throwing it to God knows who. Boots, you're a Debo Samuel guy. What do you think about this signing? Where are you at on this?
Oh, we missed you, Debo. Please come back. We can't deal with Ayuk anymore. Please come back. We'll do anything. This is rehash, reruns,
retread.
Retread. Forget about it. I'm telling you, I don't see it.
No,
I don't see it.
You don't see him making a turnaround here?
I don't see the Mike. Allow me to be controversial.
Oh, boy.
I don't see this Mike Evans, George Kittle, and Debo Samuel, Ricky Pierce. I don't see it working.
Oh, boy.
I'm not feeling it, man.
Not with Purdy.
I'm not feeling the love with the receiving core. No Juwan Jennings.
Yeah, Juwan Jennings gone, and he's in Minnesota.
Right. There's just so much noise in San Francisco.
There is.
I just don't see it, man.
Yeah, there is a lot of noise coming out of San Francisco. There is a lot of craziness going on over there. And here we go. You've got this situation now. You don't think that the Mike Evans, Debo Samuel combo is going to be worthwhile over there in San Fran?
Nah, man. This could be, it's a hot take. It's a take. Yeah. I don't see it, man.
You don't think Mike Evans can have a career resurgence over there in San Fran? Couple more good years in the sun. Man,
I sound like Tony Romo. Jim.
I don't know. We're not going to hear a whole lot of that from Tony Romo this year, I don't think.
Jim Nance was like, "Oh my, thank you, God."
I don't have to hear that.
I don't have to hear that yet.
The rumor has it he was doing warm-ups before he was. They have the video, and he was doing warm-ups before his sobriety test.
He was doing sobriety. He was like practicing being sober.
Yeah, like he was legit. Like he got pulled over for his, got in trouble for drunk driving.
Yeah.
Allegedly a DUI.
Right.
And the video shows him doing football warm-ups. to prove that he was not intoxicated. So
that shows the world that you were.
Yeah.
On the asphalt. What's wrong with you?
So yeah, that's the rumor and innuendo.
Please.
That's a rumor and innuendo right now. So but I digress. Interesting stuff going on with the 49ers. Also, they running back Jordan James, he suffered a broken rib. He's expected to miss some time as well. So the Niners dealing with that injury on top of all the craziness going on with Ayuk and all this other stuff.
All these injuries, I don't see it, man.
Yeah, it's a lot to deal with.
Is Shanahan not there?
And he is not there right now.
And you've got all of this other stuff going on.
Yeah.
A lot of noise. I don't see it. I'm sorry.
It's a lot of craziness. Also in the NFC West. And Alex, this is something you and I talked about extensively. Well, the Cardinals, they finally got it done. Quarterback Jacoby Brissett reaches a deal with the team on a reworked deal that will see him make $15.5 million in 2026. It can reach up to $21.5 million with incentives. So he takes the reworked deal. Jacoby Brissett is back practicing with the team. My understanding, and several people have reported, that Carson Beck is struggling in practice right now. The rumor is that he's missing some wide open throws.
It's because he's a backup.
Backup, yes. That's what several people have reported. I mean, we're hearing a lot of stories about that. I mean, who knows if what's true and what's not? Who doesn't like him? Who does? I mean, but Brissett gets the deal. He gets the bag.
Good.
Oh, sort of gets the bag.
He deserved it. He deserved it. He steadied the ship.
Yeah. Right.
And kept everything afloat. While you knew that he's, not a top flight NFL starter.
Sure.
Right. But he is a capable NFL starter. And the Arizona Cardinals didn't have any other choice.
Yeah.
Right. Don't be dumb like you've been being. Right. Get the proper guy to run the system, and they'll be in the market for a quarterback next season.
Here's my thing about Jacoby Brissett. I have first of all, 1-11. That was his record last year's 1-11. But my other thing about Jacoby Brissett is, I feel like, and Alex, I kind of mentioned this, I alluded to this last week. I feel like some people, they got a little too excited about Jacoby Brissett, because I feel like sometimes we get a little too excited about fantasy football numbers versus real numbers. And his fantasy football scores were phenomenal last year. He was like quarterback 6 in fantasy football. And a lot of people, what a great quarterback. And a lot of it turned out because Jacoby Brissett was doing certain things like, he ran the ball. When you run the ball, you get more points than if you were passing the ball, or whatever the case may be.
Oh, wait, he was down 28-1?
Yeah, and it's, and he
didn't even score one in the game. I think you're down 28-1.
But,
right, but he's playing catch up, right?
But, there were certain things that Jacoby Brissett was doing that in fantasy that made him seem to some folks a lot better than he was. Am I going to sit here and claim Jacoby Brissett was a world beater? He was.
Well, the record sucked.
The record sucked. Team sport. I'm not going to sit here and say the quarterback wins and losses are a stat, But I am going to say,
that's fair.
I'm not going to say that they're a stat because it is a team sport. But what I am going to say is that I don't think Jacoby Brissett really was that great of a quarterback to the point where it merited a benching of Kyler Murray the way it did. And I also think that Drew Petzing didn't exactly do him any favors, because I don't think Drew Petzing was a good offensive coordinator. So, I mean, we're going to see what happens with Jacoby Brissett this year. But
Kyler Murray got himself benched.
Yeah, I can agree with that too, to an extent. I think in Arizona, there's a lot of people that think Arizona could go winless this year, believe it or not. So there's that.
We were not kind on this show.
No, we were not. Elsewhere around the NFC, let's talk about those Commanders. They go out and they have, first of all, offensive assistant Commanders fire tight end coach Ben Steele. So Wes Welker picking up a gig here as a tight ends coach.
Why'd they fire Ben Steele?
I didn't get the full scoop on
what did he steal?
That's terrible. Alex should know this.
Yeah, Alex, what did you steal?
This is his namesake here. Come on, Alex. He said
He stole America's heart. That's what he stole.
Ben like that.
Yeah, yes. No, it was a driving while intoxicated arrest in Virginia. So he does get fired.
That's no good.
DWI. So they didn't offer any other.
That sounds like an Uncle Ben move to me.
Yeah. Additionally, Steele was charged with obstruction / resisting an officer without force for refusing to take a blood / breath test on the scene. So yeah.
Not drunk? No. No.
Yep.
No, I'm not.
So they
take that.
They send Ben Steele packing, and they go out and they give the job to Wes Welker. So there you go. But Wes Welker out here, and also the Commanders do something, Alex, something you and I had talked about. A guy who was a free agent, and we liked him a lot, and we talked about his numbers a lot. The Commanders go out and sign corner Rasul Douglas to a 1-year deal. We had talked about how Rasul Douglas last year put up some pretty damn good numbers quietly for a really bad Dolphins team. And Rasul Douglas gets signed by the Commanders, and I really like this signing a lot.
Yep. I mean, if you go back to last week, he was basically the glue that held that Dolphins team together.
Mm-hmm.
And that was when they barely sit there and go, well, I guess I need to find a trade elsewhere. And he went over and he went with a different team.
Yeah, going to the Commanders, we talked about how this could be a really good landing spot for him. I think it's a perfect landing spot. I think this makes total sense. He's a great fit over there. Makes sense. Fits in with exactly what they want to do. He's got some familiarity over there with their head coach, Dan Quinn. This is a smart move. I like Rasul Douglas over there with Washington. I think this is smart. Boots, Rasul Douglas to the Commanders.
Yeah, he's a good journeyman corner. He always finds a way. He's a very good above average NFL corner.
He's like the Brandon Cooks of corners. That's what he is. Like, I was looking at some of his numbers and I'm like, quietly has had a very good career. Like if you look at like some of his numbers and the things that he's done,
made some really good plays for the Packers a few years ago in a playoff push that they had.
Yeah, I mean he's like that's I think that's why I describe him as like the Brandon Cooks of corners, because Brandon Cooks for years, I mean journeyman, but he'd go breaking 1,000, breaking 1,000, breaking 1,000. This is Rasul Douglas. He's 72 PFF grade, 74 PFF grade, all these passes defense, like he's always in that range. And his time with the Packers scenario over there, he'll be something of a depth piece, but it's good to have that veteran presence there. Kind of like you said, having a coach on the field, longtime guy that's been in this league for a while.
Yeah.
So that'll be good for them over there. Also, speaking of the Dolphins go out and sign 2019 former first-round pick Clelin Ferrell to a 1-year deal, the defensive end. Boots, Clelin Ferrell has been around this league, and I feel like this guy can't catch on anywhere.
No, out of Clemson. He was Mike Mayock. When Mike Mayock was on the NFL Network covering the NFL draft and the scouting and all of that, I think he was on TV for a long time. Anyway, he got the gig to be the general manager or whatever
for the Raiders.
For the Raiders, and I believe that was his first pick.
Yep, 4th overall.
And I think he signed his own career death warrant with that, because it just has not worked out. It didn't really work out for Mike Mayock in the Raiders organization.
It was very fast.
Yeah.
It was very in and out.
Didn't work out.
It was like 1 year.
Yeah. And so Farrell, it hadn't worked out. Something's missing.
Yeah.
You got to get with the right team. Hopefully this is it for him. But, you wonder if Hafley's got a plan,
He's got to have something.
Got to have a plan in place to bring him in. But at least it's
a plan.
Stealing your gimmick there. You like
let's hope it works.
Yeah. Farrell, he's been all over this league. I feel like he's been traveling from team to team to team to team. It's a new team every year for him. And it's always some random time of the year, random time of the offseason where he gets just picked up by somebody and just like, oh yeah, we're gonna scoop him up real quick.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a really strange time. So Farrell gets signed to the 1-year deal. Elsewhere around that division, let's talk about the Buffalo Bills. They got Keon Coleman taking reps at punt returner in training camp right now.
They don't want you running any routes.
Yeah. Keon Coleman as a punt returner. Is that where we're headed with him now?
He did it in college.
Yeah.
So he did it at Florida State. So
Yes,
it's
he
not
did.
unfamiliar to him, but you don't think of a guy that size or a guy who's, drafted where he was to being a punt returner at this point in his career.
Yeah.
You look at punt returners as guys who 5th, 6th, 7th round guys,
Mhm.
or guys that are that's just what they do. They're specialists, and maybe come in as an undrafted free agent, but this dude was money in punt returns and kick returns in college. So you don't see that usually happening with guys in the NFL.
No.
Unless they say, dog, we don't want you running any routes. We got DJ, we got Khalil, we got Skylar Bell, we got, James Cook, name them.
Yeah, we like our group.
We're good.
Yeah, you just return the punts.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's they're trying to get their money's worth out of him at this point,
Yeah.
We spent the first rounder on him. We better make sure we're doing something with this guy.
Yeah.
So I feel like
he didn't come into the league doing that.
Yeah.
Right. It wasn't like we're going to have him run the routes and we're going to have him doing returns. He wasn't doing that.
just a guy that hasn't panned out in Buffalo at all. So we're going to see if this could be the niche for him, I guess, and see if that works out. Also, the Patriots, Drake May, this interesting little story. Drake May, when targeting A.J. Brown in team drills through the first 4 days of training camp, 1 for 7 with an interception.
See, what he's throwing is ham and cheese sandwiches. See what I'm saying?
A little extra cheese.
Hey, look, you got to throw cheese on that. You can't just have ham and bread. What?
Yeah, no, ham
You
and
need
cheese.
cheese, dog.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not just going to eat ham and bread.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, this is one of those things where, hey, man, we already know what this guy said about his last quarterback.
Yep.
So you better throw it to him.
Mm-hmm.
Problem is, they have not developed the chemistry yet.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like to me.
1 for 7 with a pick is crazy.
That means you are trying to. That means he's forcing it. That means he's forcing it to AJ.
Yeah. Forcing the ball to AJ Brown.
That's what it sounds like to me.
It's craziness.
To make sure that this is going to be the right move for the organization. It worked out with Randy Moss coming over, right?
Yeah.
Right. But that ain't Tom Brady at the quarterback spot.
Yeah. Gonna be an interesting thing. Speaking of top quarterbacks, Chief Cyrus Allen, do you think we have a kind of the new out of nowhere Tyreek Hill type of situation here with this Cyrus Allen?
Could be. Porter, coaches say a lot. They, I really like the kid. I like the cut of his jib. He's doing a really good job. I like his footwork. I like his pad level. So there's a coaches can put a guy over, with just a little bit. But I need to see a lot more before I would, commit to saying he's going to be the threat for Mahomes.
Yeah. Another receiver that we've been talking about quite a bit on this offseason, Malik Neighbors. Alex, Giants Malik Neighbors, he's been running routes and taking part in individual drills. He's being viewed as a realistic option to start week 1 of the 26-27 season. What do you think the over-under is on Malik Neighbors coming into the week 1 of the NFL season for the New York Football Giants?
So I'm going to go ahead and say that is likely. I think the question you really need to ask, what are the odds that the man gets hurt again before week 6?
Yeah.
I mean, he's been throwing a whole lot of hospital balls. Let's just throw it out there. And he's had a very unfortunate injury history. With these, when he's on the field and he's healthy, he can ball out. There's absolutely no question. But when you get to when it comes to I mean, not necessarily not cutting time, but if something goes wrong, where this guy gets hurt again, year three. I don't know. I mean, I think you're really starting to wonder how far behind the 8 ball are we with this kid? Because I mean, they picked him number 5 or 6 overall. You know, when the draft was in Detroit. So you know, I think the curse. You know, I honestly believe that we're starting. You know. The Detroit draft was cursed. You know, I mean, Terry Arnold was definitely huge evidence of that. But I mean, J.J. McCarthy was drafted in Detroit. You were standing 10 feet away, and I saw your hands hit your knees when that pick came up.
You know what I can describe my reaction as. It was like. This is not to make anything political or anything like that. Just it was like that lady that was screaming when Donald Trump got announced as president, and she was like, yeah. It was kind of like that. You know, they said the Vikings select J.J. McCarthy, and I was like, yeah. You know, like it was kind of on that level.
Right.
Yeah, it was just terrible. It was one of the worst moments I've had as a Vikings fan watching that pick roll in.
Yep, I knew it was trouble from the start.
Yeah.
I do like the fact that Malik Neighbors is out there back at it, though. This is a pivotal year for not only Malik, but for Jackson Dart, for
Cam Scatterbo.
For Tyrone Trey, for all of the offense.
Yep.
Right, and the defense too. This is a big year for Harbaugh
and for Jackson Dart. For Jackson Dart as a starting quarterback.
For Dart, to be that guy, take that next step. This is a big year for the Giants, period. It just won't be theirs.
Yeah. It'll
be a big year, but it won't be theirs.
Yeah, it'll be a big year. I want to see if the Giants can, if they take a step forward. If they take a step forward toward that like 8-9, 9-8 mark, okay, then they did a little something. There's still work to be done.
I think coaching will get them 3 wins.
Think so?
Harbaugh's coaching will get them 3 wins.
Well, that would get them toward that 8-9, 9-8.
Everything else has got to be on the quarterback and the rest of the team.
Yeah,
coach got to get you at least 3 wins.
Yeah, good coaching, and that's John Harbaugh's MO.
And I'll tell you. That's his bread and butter. Yeah. And it'll be a lot better than that 4-13 that they had last year.
Yeah.
See, if 3 wins alone are going to get you, if 3 wins are going to come from Jim Harbaugh's coaching alone, we can see New York, double their win total from last year.
Yeah.
Maybe even get a winning record. I can see that happening. I think Washington is the one that circles the drain in the NFC East, and then it's really between the Cowboys and the Eagles about which one of those teams implodes first.
And it's probably going to be the Cowboys, but we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah. But and last but not least, last bit of news: Chargers offensive tackles Rashawn Slater and Joe Alt have been cleared medically for training camp. So both the Chargers offensive tackles back out on the field. They are ready and raring to go.
There you go.
So the Chargers.
That is some damn good news for the Los Angeles Chargers. Holy smokes.
Yep. So they get the Chargers back out in the mix here. So they're going to get their healthy offensive line.
Yeah.
Alton Slater back out there. It's going to be good news for them. Good news for Justin Herbert. As long as he's got that healthy line, he's always in good shape and he plays good ball. So we're going to see how Justin Herbert does.
Yeah.
And that is our news around the league as training camp has opened up. And folks, that's our show. We've got plenty.
We've got to go. We've got to go. Ho, ho. We've got to go. We've got to go.
Real quick before we get out of here, just a quick note here for those of you who've been watching us live. I know the camera has been a little blurry. We've been dealing with some technical difficulties. That's on my end. We'll be dealing with that a little bit later, so I do apologize for that. But I'm glad
Scotty didn't shave. That's
yeah, maybe, I don't know, but folks, we will be dealing with those technical difficulties. For those of you who've been watching us live on Twitch and on X and all that good stuff. So these types of things happen. It's all right. Shit happens. We're gonna roll with it. But before we get out of here, we're going to give a shout out to It's Your Time Massage. Amanda's a wonderful massage therapist, the best in the Metro Detroit area. If you're looking for a massage, you got to, whether it's a Swedish massage, a deep tissue massage. If you're looking for the CBD oil, you can get that for a little bit extra. You can get the red light therapy. You can get foot sugar scrubs. You can get all that good stuff. You got to check out IYTmassage.com, or you can find her at It's Your Time Massage LLC on Facebook, and you can book yourself an appointment. And remember, folks, it's your time.
The woman can't even clean. You know why?
Why is that?
She rubbed her coffee table down and turned to sawdust.
Oh, Jesus Christ. She's amazing. She is amazing. You got to remember, folks, it's your time massage. Also, let's go ahead and talk about what's going on at Steel Twins Gaming. Alex, what you got going on over there?
Well, do you guys like video games?
Yes.
Do you like theater?
Love it.
Then yes on both counts. Well, the Steel Twins Gaming might just be what you're looking for. Whether it's the good old first-person shooter, RPG, your favorite story-based adventure, we think we have something for just about everyone. We got everything you need to satisfy you, brother and I. We'll play a game that has a lot of text-based dialogue. We'll act it out with the voices that come up in our heads. But the characters you'll see on screen. Sometimes we do our best to highlight the drama of the situation. Another time, we just goof off to have a good time. But either way, we're sure you'll be entertained. We're usually on every Saturday afternoon at about 2:30 p.m. Sometimes we do Sundays. But if you really want to know, follow us on X at Steel Twins Alex to keep up to date on our shenanigans. We also update the Facebook page every once in a while. And hey, kids, don't forget about the brother channel, Steel Twins Andy. It is there. You'll get your full fix of Nostalgic Mondays, Nintendo Tuesdays, FPS Wednesdays, Indie Thursdays, and Open World Fridays.
Yep, and you also got to check out No Shot Bot TTV, the artist formerly known as Big Willie Dubs Gaming, now known as No Shot Bot TTV. He's an online gaming content creator and streamer with he's part-time with full-time aspirations, baby. He's does a lot of first-person shooter stuff. He's over there on Twitch. He's over there on the TikTok. There it is. You can find all of his stuff over there on Twitch, Facebook. You can find him over on Kick. You can find him on all those different platforms, YouTube. I like his stuff on TikTok. You can check those out. He's very entertaining. Will's a great dude. He is the streamer dad, if you will. And he doesn't just do all the first person shooter stuff. He doesn't just do gaming stuff. A lot of times he'll throw on some other entertaining things that'll be going on, whether it's eating roast jelly beans or whether or not he's doing the Hot Ones challenge and stuff like that. He's a very entertaining fella. I highly recommend it. You got to check him out at No Shot Bot TTV. He's a part of a gaming team as well, Team MVS, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh,
yeah,
get it?
Yeah, so he's a part of that team, and so you got to check it out. No Shot Bot TTV, and also we've got these things to talk about called books.
Books, the things that I don't read, but the things that you should, especially this book, I Ate Cookies Out of the Trash. That's the name of it, not just what she did. She being the author of this book, Tammy Pruitt. But yeah, she ate cookies out of the trash, and you'll find out why, but you got to read the book. But the first thing you got to do is you got to order it. You can't just walk into a store and try to think you're going to get this book. Not at Target. They might kick you out and put you on your ASS. See what I did there?
I see.
I'm trying to be PG-13 here.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to be dirty.
You're better than me at it.
Yeah. That's true. But what's better than me is this book. Just read this book. You go online to order this thing. You got to go to Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, AppleBooks.com. You can even ask Jeeves.
But you're the only person that still asks Jeeves.
I ask Jeeves everything.
I didn't know if it was still possible.
Yeah, Jeeves, he's AI now.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, Jeeves is
it AI Jeeves?
It's AI Jeeves.
Yeah, oh, gotcha.
That's right. And he gave me the heebie-jeebies.
Jesus Christ.
Anyway, you can go online, order this book, you get it shipped right to your house. This book has heart, it has humor, it has wisdom, it has links to other avenues to where you can handle your problem. We all have issues, and these things are relatable. Weight issues, anxiety, depression. There's someone who's close to me right now talked about a bout of depression that they had. Well, they need to order this book, and they need to read it because it can help you get through whatever you going through.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Reads like a conversation.
But not a boring one, so you just need to go online, order this book, I Ate Cookies Out of the Trash, get it sent to you, open up your door, you see it right there delivered, bring it inside, shut the door, lock all 12 locks, but you're shut in, but that's all right. You just pour yourself a nice hot cup of tea, cup of cocoa, put a little Bailey's in it, read this book, enjoy it, and enjoy your life.
Absolutely. I Ate Cookies Out of the Trash. You can find it on all the .coms. Be sure to check it out. And folks, that's our show. That's what we got going on. We are just 6 days away from football. It's getting fired up. 6 days away from the preseason opening up over there.
God, he's just 6 inches away from my neck. Would you back up?
No, hey now. But I'm trying. No, but anyway, we've got
I'm a sexy man.
Carolina versus Arizona coming up around the corner. So get ready for that. The Hall of Fame game. Then we're going to have all kinds of preseason football happening. So that's going to be exciting. And we're going to be discussing preseason games. We're going to be discussing all the preseason news, things we see, things we think. It's going to be fun. Football's here, guys.
Yeah.
And then Boots, we're going to be doing Boots' preseason or his season predictor before the season starts. That will be a thing. Don't worry. It's coming. Right. I know we've been talking about it for weeks. That is coming.
That's right. You're going to get some
none of that. That's terrible.
A preview. A preview of the NFL season.
Yeah. We're gonna get Boots' season predictor coming around the corner. So we're gonna get ready for that. I hope everybody's excited for that one. It's going to be a good time. We're going to get that in the next few weeks. We also have our fantasy football draft coming up here. Boots, are you ready for that? August 22nd?
Okay, now that I know the date.
No, well, I told you the date a few weeks back, but yes, I did.
You sure?
Yes, I did.
You sure it was me?
Yes, I did.
You sure it was you?
Yeah, I made sure. But August the 22nd.
Okay.
We got our fantasy football draft coming up. So that'll be a thing for the Bob Wilson Memorial League that we do every year. So that one is around the corner, August the 22nd. So we're going to be doing that. Fantasy football's coming around the corner. I know everybody's fired up for that one. Brisket. I'll be making brisket for that. It's barbecue season still.
Brisket a brasket.
So we got brisket coming.
There's no Kyle Traskett.
Unbelievable. So I hope everybody's excited. And we'll be talking some fantasy football. Next week, we will jump back into the NFL Top 100. I know that's a thing that we're going to be continuing to do. And we're going to be doing that right through the Super Bowl, basically, is where we're going to end the NFL Top 100 for the following year. So that's something we're going to wind up doing.
We got college players that we're going to be highlighting. Bootleg B team watch list coming up.
Yep, that's coming up around the corner. So Alex and I, we highlighted one guy from each position that we wanted to take a look at, but we were waiting for bootleg B team guys that you wanted to highlight. So
got some right now.
Yep. So we're going to wind up jumping into those in future episodes as well. So we've got all kinds of stuff we're going to continue to cover in the upcoming weeks leading into the football season. We've got, right now we're jumping into the first week of August here. We've got about 4 weeks left. College football is going to be coming in about 3 weeks.
We don't wish away the summer, but we love football season.
Listen, I wish away the summer because, man, I love fall. But, man, I wish away the summer just because I love me some football. And folks, we will see you. We will be seeing you next week right here on the Outside Blitz.
I bet you listen again.
With that, pow, we're gone.